So that implicates that my mother broke in and killed her. Especially with that letter. Or the journal entry. Well, I think that's everything in the room. So now we have to go establish where people were at 4.
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Might want to clean it up though. Okay, we need to speak to the French people especially.
President George Washington.
Right, let's go see if Washington's in. I mean, this is just a good opportunity to snoop on people's rooms. This is a nice room. Is that South America? I do like this room, very elegant.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Is that so? Is that a picture of George Washington in a room of George Washington?
Portrait of George Washington.
Okay, I don't think there's. Oh, okay, there's a bunch of letters here.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to
It's
join...
just Mortimer inviting him.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals. The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
That's not surprising. It's when you look at the actual history of American Britain or American England, it was, even when America broke free, their economies were so intertwined that if England just went, fine, you're broken free, but we're not going to trade with you, the English economy would have suffered greatly. So what kind of happened was immediately they both just kind of started trading with each other again, because if they didn't, they relied on each other so much, which is kind of how America and Britain became friends long term. Or, well, I mean, that's an oversimplification, but... Right, let's talk to Washington.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night, you can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
So if Emily backs him up, that secures his alibi. Do we want to waste a point on that?
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
Okay. Well, do I want to use vigilance to see whether he's grieving or not? I kind of believe him, to be honest. I do think he, is genuinely grieving. I don't think it was him. And if Emily backs him up and says she went to speak to him with business in the night, then, there's no point to I think he's lying. So, considering we're so low on points, we'll actually save that.
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Alright, I think we can probably strike Washington off the list.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Okay, we can't search his room. Which is weird, because we were told we had permission to search all of the guest rooms. Maybe we can only search them if they're a suspect. Piaggi didn't give us a reason to... he told us where he was, but there's nothing to back it up.
Huh, that's me.
Alright, well, we're not going to bother searching our own room.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Oh, I don't think he's here yet.
Duchess Emily
Right,
Hillsborough.
let's talk to her, and then if she backs up Washington, we can cross both of them off the list. I don't get why they just leave all these papers and stuff lying around. Like, anyone could just walk in.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. P.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Okay, well, I'm guessing E is her sister. So she's been in communications with her sister via secret letters.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language and all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help.
So Emily has the Prime Minister and the Queen both talking to her. So I'm guessing she effectively is, one of the most powerful people in England.
Two
Or Great Britain.
coils circle the lock.
We don't have the... We've got, even with the Royal Jelly, we've got 5 points, so I just can't afford to waste it.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now.
Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
So was that how she arranged to marry that dude? I'm not sure. It's just searching her luggage. Is it worth it? No, probably not. Oh, fuck it, go on. Maybe we'll find a jelly.
A devil's thorn.
No.
To be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
William Pitt, the elder, Earl of Chatham. Emily works with his son.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy.
Might as well
Did
use
you
it.
hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Oh. So I don't want to say that, because that's just going to annoy her. I don't want to lie to her, though. So I'm going to actually take a royal jelly and use her vulnerability.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least. Tell me, Emily, what's the nature of your relationship with Washington?
Oh, come off it, Louis. You're not going to go into a jealous rage, are you?
No, I can assure you of that. That has nothing to do with it.
I just wanted to confirm that she spoke with Washington. That's it.
You're preparing a treaty to break the ties between the United States and France.
Whatever are you talking about, Louis?
I read your correspondences, Emily.
It's not what you think. So don't go thinking there's anything personal in it.
Are you trying to break Franco-American agreements, Emily?
That's the job, Louis. We're all doing everything we can to serve the best interests of our nation. It's got nothing to do with you or us.
But why didn't you tell me about it before?
Would you have told me?
Why does it matter? So for those of you who don't know, as I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons America was actually able to break free from Great Britain was because they had tremendous amounts of support from France. So funnily enough, the French monarchy actually helped America break free from a monarchy, and then shortly afterwards the French monarchy had a revolution where their monarchy was overthrown. And partly one of the reasons the French monarchy was overthrown was because they effectively bankrupted themselves, helping the Americans break free from the British, only for then later on the British and America to become friends again. Right, I don't think there's anything more to talk to Harry about apart from here, but we just don't have the points for it.
I won't keep you in mind.
So she's backed up
Thank you for
Washington.
answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
She was talking to Washington last night. So it's not her and it's not Washington. I don't think we've ruled out enough suspects yet. Right, let's keep investigating.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Right, Napoleon is an actual suspect. Right, let's search his room first.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
So Napoleon's immune to politics.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
So Napoleon's gun is
My
missing.
dear Napoleon,
Well, that's just a letter inviting him here. So his gun is missing. However, the gun was never fired.
French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus. The last... French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus. The last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. My dearest son, I'm writing...
It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you.
So I'm guessing he did show us the pistol, which means it is his. So he isn't missing his pistol.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
But that doesn't rule any of them out, because the murder took place around 4 in the morning.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Why didn't you bring this up before? Oh, hang on. What's his immunities? Let's see. Let's see if we can do both.
Were you able to recognize the Prowler?
Unfortunately not,
It
no.
might have been my mother.
It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
So that was the night where she was then later beaten by the other French guy. But I thought she was downstairs. Yeah, so she would have gone down. Is he on about Washington? That might have been Washington because he went in her room to investigate. So there's no point wasting points on that.
Someone saw
Oh,
you not
come on.
far from...
Okay, I think he is being sincere, so we'll leave that.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Okay, so he was playing cards, but he left around midnight. So he could have left and then gone up to the room. So it doesn't really cancel him out at all. He said he was waiting outside because he wanted to warn her about the guy that was in her room. But then why didn't he just go in?
Sir Jacques Peru?
Right. Let's check Prelu.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
Well, we can already tell that, so let's search the room.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Right, hopefully there's some royal jelly in here.
Great. Honey.
Perfect.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris.
It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it.
This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
We're gonna have so many books to read at the start of the next chapter. Oh, I found some jelly. Oh no, I found a golden elixir on the floor.
Dear friend,
Right, that's just important. That's just inviting him. So I'm guessing those are the other people's rooms. I don't know if we shall meet again. At this point in time, I am a prisoner, shared by my own decisions. You must be protected. My future is lost without you. You can still be saved. No matter how much bitterness you hold against me, you must know that I made a pact with the devil who I thought I could master. I thought I knew the monsters, but what I did for France is nothing compared to what they are capable of doing. Now I can't see any way out. The jaws are closing upon me. I love you now and forever. Well, that sounds like him. Because he's part of the French tribunal, which, if you follow the French politics during the time of the Revolution, just, you know, a lot of their politicians were just continuously murdered. So it was a very
Massacre of the
unstable,
Innocents, but
it was a
by
very
Van
dangerous
Harlem.
job to be
I
part
think
of
that
the
Mortimer likes to
council.
play mind games with his guests. A pattern with 4 circles.
Oh, we have the key apparently. Are we just nicking all of his personal possessions?
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, Please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
So this massive, big, tough, rude guy secretly is funding
Dear
orphanages.
Monsieur,
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Alright, let's talk to him.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Might as well use this. So he's immune to questioning. Did you kill Adams? Wow. Okay, let's ask. Okay, well, I want to ask this. So what I'm actually going to do is because we've got. Was it? Oh, because we've got full. Okay, so I'm actually going to use this, and then I'll ask this.
2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams.
What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, de Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Will that work? Let's see if we can double down. Oh, I thought I didn't have it because I didn't have enough points. It's because I haven't unlocked logic.
Go on.
That's
Keep going.
I've wasted that. Oh well.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
Where's your gun, mate?
You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself.
I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Wow. So not a very useful conversation.